Okay, before we leave this
Okay.
zone, are you comfortable sharing your own experience? Because I relate with you and I know that you are happily married. You know how they'll say that he's a developer, he's an IT professional, happily married with children. So I think relating with you privately, I know that you are happily married. So how's that experience been, being married across cultures? You're, let me use the word black, your wife is white, you have, mixed children. How has it been? At least maybe that would help some other people to, you know, make some decisions too.
I mean, any
What's your
relationship
experience?
and any relationship and marriage has its own issue, right? You mentioned earlier, right? We come in from different background, and that is something that we have to be able, something that I have to able to control, right? Even though my wife right now she will do me some jollof rice, some fufu, and all those things, right?
Really?
Yeah,
She makes African food for
I mean,
you?
yeah, because I love her, she loves me. So I mean, she noticed that when we go to some African party, right? I like those kind of food, so she did her best to reproduce those kind of things, right?
To learn it.
It
Wow.
so though I mean, again, a relationship has its own issue. We can all be from the same background and still we cannot stay together, right?
That's so
We can
true.
keep
That's so
fighting, and so on. So the human aspect of this have to be very important. It's not like I mentioned earlier. It's not about the color of the skin.
all of this skin.
Uh, yeah, you know she's from here, so okay. Why you want her to do stuff from Africa or try to impose that? Right? That's gonna create a conflict, right?
Mm.
So coming here, your mind is more open than someone here, accepting you, right? So the big part of the work have to come from you. I mean, it was coming from my side. So again, we came here for a purpose. We want to succeed, right? If you get married here, you do your best to make this work, and that is what I'm doing.
And that
Again,
they'll
I love her. She loves me, and I think so far it's going well. All couples have the issue, and our issue are not different to the issue between you and your wife or something. It's just the same kind of issue. It's yeah.
I like your mindset. There's something I picked from what you said, that she's from here. You don't expect her to do things that are alien, foreign to her, that she's not even aware of. And that
Mhm,
you, as the person who came over here, will have to make more of the adjustment. And
mhm,
you really behave like a lawyer, because you just put it out there that, when they will say, I fought your right, that's case closed, no more argument. Even people from the same village, the same tribe, the same language, they
mhm,
get married, they have irregular couple issues, sometimes they break up.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
what's the big deal? They have
yeah.
conflicts that you marry among your tribe or culture or color of skin is not a guarantee for a
No,
perfect marriage.
no.
So I don't have any case again. Case closed.
Thank you.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say? What are your general thoughts about living in diaspora? I was having a conversation with you, and you were just pouring out a lot of things that it looks like, you know, I don't want to preempt you. Let me just leave you open for some minutes. What are your thoughts? When we say diaspora now, it means that we people that came here, it's not like America, we came here. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Advice for
I see.
people generally.
Yeah, I see. I see. One of the things that I noticed, and I think it's a little bit sad, is the fact that we carry our issue from back home here. The division we have from back home, we carry that here. The political aspect of everything is carried over here. So I mean, we end up being in the same situation, right? And that is something that I don't really like, because you and me being here, the fact that we coming, both you and me from Africa, we should be closer, right? Beside all the things that happening back home, the fact that we left the country and we are abroad, we should be closer. But it's not happening. It's always the same kind of little fight here and here. This guy said that, you say this, and so on. Really, I don't have time for this. You know, I don't, I don't have for those kind of things. You say that, you say this. No. So that is sometimes what I don't really appreciate. But I still have friends here from my country, but those friends, my close friends, are all in the field that I'm working on. I'm working in. They are all IT guys in general, right? Because of we don't want to look like we are different, right? Because sometimes that is my feeling. I can be wrong, you know. Sometimes, you know, when you go to those big things, right? People used to compare to themselves, right? Oh, he's driving this, he's wearing this, he's doing that. I mean, if I have to wear my clothes according to you, or it, it become very strange, right? The clothes that I wear, it's what I can buy, right? So that is the way I see the things. If I'm driving this car, it's just because I can afford it, right? It's not just because I want to show that I have money or those kind of things. It's what I like, I bought,
Right.
right? You know, because hey, we're looking for money, right? If you cannot afford what you like, what are you working for,
Like
right? So,
people are having
good.
competitive jealousy. You are who you are, doing what you should do, what you can do, what's convenient, but they are looking at you and
Yeah,
they envy you.
yeah. And maybe that's why my circle of friends, they are all in the IT field, making the same kind of money that I'm making, you know. And I think it's less trauma.
Less trouble.
Yeah.
Right. What is your view on the impact of social media in our generation right now? Because I relate with you. I noticed that you're not a social media person, you're just an everyday guy going on your lane. Why that? And what's your general view on social media, the use of it and the impact right now?
Okay, it's my first time to be on the podcast with you, and I accept it because of, because of our friendship, and I
Thank you,
know
sir.
that you are a good guy, right?
Thank you, sir. I
So
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I know what I'm doing right now will be in the system for 100 years, right? So, you can do a mistake today, and tomorrow that same mistake will follow you in the future. So
Hmm.
I'm very careful putting stuff out there in general, right? And when stuff, because Africa social media is starting by Facebook and those kind of things, right? Um, People were not using that for the right purpose, right? They were using that for the same kind of jealousy stuff, and those little things here and there. So I distance myself of the social media in general, because um, I'm not a very talking person, right?
I
so
know, I know, I know.
so yeah, so that is the way I want to stay, right? It's fine, social media, but the way people are using it, they don't really pay attention, because we nowadays people can use what you do in social media to build your profile,
Hmm.
to do what kind of person you are. So what you put in there, you have to be very careful, because that can fire back.
Wow.
That's my thought about it.
Thank you very much. I know you are a man of few words, and I appreciate the fact that you are not, the out. what person like that, and that you accepted to come to this interview. I really appreciate it. My team and I will really appreciate you so much because
No problem.
you don't like your face out there, and
No.
I know this. There's no way you could show me, you could tell me how much you love me other than, by the way, by action you demonstrated it. You are not the kind of person that want to put your face on the social media at all. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm sure our viewers, when they are watching this, they will help me to appreciate you in the comments. That thank you, because the things that the conversation we are having, a lot of them are things that we can learn from, and we can build a better society. Let me tell you, you might not know it. You have said some things that will help some people who are trying to start relationships, who are already in relationships, who are raising children. Even though those are not topics, we didn't say how do you raise children, how do you relate, what's relationship, what's marriage. But from the general questions, the things you are saying are relatable, and it's going to help a lot of people who are struggling, with adaptation, with integration, with mind shifts, with acculturation, overcoming culture shock, finding their identity. So, boys, thanks for coming to this program. You are helping us.
No problem.
We
No
we we
problem.
we, have still some little time to end.
Mhm.
Let me ask you. Okay, let me take this to the aspect of parenting.
Mhm.
You are a parent to, I don't know the number of your children. You are parents.
Mhm.
What would you like to say about experience parenting? You know how you were parented. You know how you were growing up.
Yeah.
And also, you are a parent here right now. What's your experience? And please help me to use this to also talk to African parents out there whose children, two levels. You have told us earlier that children that are here will take the values of this place. There's no two way to it. Parents should just be ready for that. But there are some children that were brought from over there. So the ones that are here, we accept they originate from here. They are going to take the value of the environment. But what about the ones that were brought over here? Parents are struggling. Some people are sending their kids back to Africa. Some people are having challenges, trying to keep them out of
Yeah.
trouble. You
Mhm.
understand? What's your own experience growing up? What's your experience now? And what's your advice? Three things.
Okay. The way we got raised back home, it's let's say for example, when I would go into school, my teacher can beat me, right? And I go home, my dad will beat me again.
Beat you double.
Go again to put on top, right? That's the way. That is the way we got raised. That is what make me what I am, right?
Shaped you.
Yeah. But here, you cannot even yell at your kid because if they never saw it, you are in trouble. So, parents, I think the advice I can give
So wait,
is
hold on. So you don't have any stick behind the door or broom. You know how?
yeah, yeah.
Just, I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding you. Please go on.
Yeah, I mean that is true stuff. You because you didn't do your homework, you go to school. The teacher will they will
Thank you.
will smack your butt. All those things. So when you go home, you are in the situation where should I talk to my parent or I
Keep it
shouldn't.
to
At
yourself.
the beginning, you feel like, hey, yes, I'm going to talk to my dad. You're gonna fix this teacher for me once for all. As soon as you open your mouth, you get some too. So next time when it happens, you don't talk about it. You just you better get your homework done. Finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean here I recognize here raising kids is tough, right?
Tough.
Yeah, it's tough because back home raising kids was it was not only your job, it's the society job, right?
Community, the whole village.
Community job, all the village, so your kid can be saying doing something there, hiding from you and doing something there, but the neighbor can see him and say, hey, don't do it. So those kind of things are not here. They You have some community, especially Indian community. That's why they like to live together
Yeah.
in US,
Yeah.
to have the same kind of community eyes on their kids.
I've never seen it that way. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have friend Indian. He told me that he said to me, this is why we like to be in the community.
Hmm.
Like that, I'm at work. If my kid is doing something, the neighbor will see it and say, "Hey, don't do it," or this and this.
Hmm.
So they try to maintain this community around the kid. So if you live outside of those, and we African in general here, we don't really live in the community like Indian, right? So we cannot really try to enforce or try to apply those kind of rule here, right? So the only thing that you have is to try to talk to your kids. Talking is it's important. Show him some example, because in Africa, when we say don't do it, the kid will never ask why.
Hmm.
Here, they're gonna ask you why you said me to not do it. So you better find some good example and go through those example with the kid. You do this, you do this is this is. Once the kid understand that logic, he record the information in his head, and it's more easier, because you cannot just tell them, don't do that. It's bad. Why is bad? But we got raised in such way that absolutely, if the parent say that it's bad, we assume it's bad. We don't want. We are not trying to do why it's bad. That says it's bad. That's it. I'm good with it. I'm not doing anything else. But in here, it's totally different. So talk to your kid, find some good example, and keep in mind, right? He's going through his adaptation as well. He's
Hmm.
going through his own headache, to try to fit in this new society. So this is what I would say.
Wow. Thank you very much. That's very, very, very deep. You come from a francophone African country. I hope this is a question you wouldn't mind answering. You speak English so well. Why didn't you go to France? Why coming to US?
Okay. Uh, I'm I'm speaking French already.
Can you speak some
So
French to us? Oui.
okay. Um, je ne suis pas allé en France parce que je voulais aussi profiter de l'occasion pour apprendre l'anglais. Voilà pourquoi est-ce que je suis venu aux États-Unis et me frotter à d'autres cultures que celle de la France.
Oui, 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 oui. So please interpret that for us. I see your lovely, handsome son. Is
Yeah.
tough. Does he want to say hi to us? He's welcome
No,
to
it's
say hi.
fine.
No, it's all right. No, no,
He better stay there.
no. Did he leave?
Okay. Yeah, he left. He's doing
If he wants
something
to
good.
come and say hi, he's welcome. We are not rigid
Yeah.
here. It's part of fun. That's a
Yeah.
variety
So
show.
okay. So I said I choose US because as French speaking, as from a French speaking country, I wanted to have the benefit of learning the language, be able to speak English as well, be able to interact with my guy like from Nigeria here.
That's true.
Yeah, so that is what I gain. And the other thing is, we all know that this IT industry and revolutions all come from US, right? So why
Mm,
should I go to France? So I mean, in US, I have everything here. I can learn, and I have been touching several fields in the IT. Right, I told you that I started as let's say a desktop engineer. I did some telecom, right, and then I went to some bank industry, and now I'm in the insurance, right? All those move was possible because I'm in US.
wow. Merci, mon ami. Merci beaucoup.
Vous êtes les bienvenus.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yeah,
Take
I
it
hope
easy.
I didn't mix it up too much.
No, no, no. Yeah, merci beaucoup is the right way.
Thank you. Merci, mon ami. So, let's look generally into how will I ask this question? Africa, we know where we are at right now. Is there hope for Africa, and what is the way forward? You are an IT professional. You see other IT professionals, like you said, even from your own country. A lot of people, we are both, like the same age range. And what is there hope for Africa? Are we going to add value in the long run to that continent without affecting our Americanness? Because we are not here for nothing, right? And we see ourselves, from other parts of Africa. We have the intellect, we have the mental capacity, we have the capabilities. We are killing it in, a lot of things in IT.
Yeah.
So, and other aspects of life generally, academia, science, STEM, whatever, even the arts. Any hope for Africa? And how do we get there?
I think we have hope in general. We need a better political system. When people go back to invest, they're facing a lot of difficulties in general, right? And some people sitting there, they just want their cut, even though the idea is not from them. So building in Africa is not easy, right? Because of those kind of things, I think the politics back home. I mean, the diaspora is sending a lot of money. That's the that's so far that is the way that we're helping them more. But those money go to the family, right? It's not to even build a company or those kind of things. It's just to try to help them survive.
Survive.
Yeah, survive. So, and believe me, it's a lot of money the diaspora is sending in Africa for those, right? So we still have hope. I think the very young population in Africa, right? And those the education should be more focused on the brain instead of trying to push them out. So the politics have to work to give a better education. So as soon as those things are in place, I think we see what's happening in other side of the world, right? Like Asia and those kind of things. Nowadays everything is done by China in the computer field. All the devices, everything is built there. The chips and all those things is coming from Asia. Those kind of technology we should try to have them as well in Africa. You know.
Amazing. I can tell you for free that Nigeria is leading in that aspect. As much as people are, I don't know other parts of Africa, as much as they are concerned about the governance and the infrastructure, there's a lot of startups in Nigeria, especially tech. They're going back and they are doing big things and they are doing them in big figures. If I do not, I mean, when we're talking the other time, I hope you can help me with do this in 1 minute before we round off. You talked about China, that they have their homegrown system of government, but you see, it's part of what sets China and America apart because their system is communism, right? And definitely they might have been able to advance technologically, but you see, the West and some of those countries, the issue is capitalism and communism, right? And it's a very big deal. It's a big deal. Um, you want to clarify that you're not saying we should do communism. You're only saying we should grow our own whatever works for us in Africa.
Yeah, I think we saw the limits of both systems, right? We are human beings. We are intellectual. We should find our own system
Okay.
and then work from there. Because each system has its own limit.
Right.
Okay, China was able and is able to do what it's doing because of the communist system, the communist system where everything belongs to the government.
Okay.
So they can build roads where they want, they can build railroad, they can build a big project quickly and easily because of that system. Here in the capital is for a road, you're gonna have to pay every length on the path of the road, and those are expensive in general, right?
Right. But
So
the people may not feel as free, as it were, because of some things. But let me not put you on the spot on that. Can you spend 1 minute to talk to our African brothers? We have spoken English for like almost 90 minutes of this program. Can you just speak to our francophone people, maybe like 30 seconds, 1 minute, just a general advice to them in French, sir?
advice about, I mean, we cover several topics, right? Can you just try
What
to relate to one of the topic, and I
one of
will.
the topic just about Africanness and everything. We have to do our own thing. We have to move our continent forward. We have to stop fighting among ourselves politically and get things right because of future generation.
Yeah, avec ça c'est un message pour mes frères africains. I mean, je veux dire qu'il n'est pas encore tard, il n'est pas, on n'est pas en retard. Je ne dirais pas qu'on est en retard, mais on est sur la bonne voie. Il faut continuer à travailler. Il faut plutôt chercher à compter sur nos propres ressources, notre propre mentalité, se définir notre propre chemin pour pouvoir construire l'Afrique en général. Euh, on a des exemples devant nous, on a les États-Unis, on a les pays de l'Europe, on a l'Asie. On peut utiliser ce qu'ils ont fait de mieux pour construire l'Afrique. Merci.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Moise Efo, for coming on our program. If you ask Jimmy, thank you for the opportunity of interviewing you. And thanks, despite the fact that you are social media and camera shy, you came to do this for us, remembering your roots from Africa, Ivorian American. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What are
And I
your last
appreciate it.
words for our viewers in English? Last words?
Oh, it was a pleasure for me to be here. As I mentioned earlier, it's my first time. And if I heard some people in my comments, it's just my point of view, and I will apologize. I want to apologize, right? So it was a pleasure to share my knowledge, the few things I know about world, right? And that is life, and I love you all.
We love you too. Absolutely. Thank you very much, viewers, for staying tuned to this program today. If you ask Jimmy, it's been a 90 minutes of fun and brainstorming with my friend and brother and work colleague, Moise Efo, who is an IT professional specializing in big data. Thank you very much. Also, we can't end this program without thanking OMS Consulting, a new media company who actually has my back. I have my 9 to 5, and my job is my first love. But once we do this recording, OMS takes care of the rest of it. So if you want to do anything in the new media, social media space, please feel free to reach out to OMS. I guarantee them and I approve them. I endorse them. And I can vouch for them. I can beat my chest for them in case you just think, you're not too sure. So they are based in Africa, but the world is a global village right now, and they can work for you remotely and also virtually. Thank you, MS, and thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Moise.
Thank you.
Au
Bye.
revoir.
Au revoir.